And the House of Representatives is getting to work today after finally electing a speaker. Kevin McCarthy survived the longest and most contentious battle for speaker since before the Civil War, finally garnering enough support in the 15th vote. Tempers flared on the House floor, but far-right conservatives in the end got what they wanted, more leverage. Let's bring in our ABC News political contributors, former Democratic Congressman Joe Crowley of New York and former Republican Congressman Tom Graves of Georgia for more. Thank you both for being on. Tom, after 15 votes, Kevin McCarthy is finally Speaker, but now they have to make some of those rule changes that he promised. How do you see that impacting House Republicans going forward?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, happy Monday. It's good to have that behind us. I think, looking ahead, I mean, really the rules changes or the recommendations aren't anything super significant, anything much different than Republicans governed under previously. I think still the question looming is, how do you govern with such a tight majority? And a lot of that's always going to depend on attendance. It's going to depend on the policies. It's going to depend on the Senate. Any given day is going to be a little bit different. Probably much like Democrats dealt with over the last 4 years with narrow majorities. So looking ahead, today's the rules package, has to pass. And there's already a little bit of, I guess, some murmurs about that. Who's going to vote for it, who's not. But again, depends on attendance. And I think now that Speaker McCarthy is Speaker, he has more leverage, he's demonstrated leadership, and he's ready to lead forward.
Joe, one of those changes is a provision that allows just one member to call for a vote to remove the speaker. Do you think that could affect McCarthy's power as he negotiates, not just with Republicans, but of course with Democrats to get business done in Washington?
Oh, I think without a doubt. The reality is that is a very significant change to that, that any one member can continue to threaten the speaker. If you don't see it my way, I'm going to call for your removal. Now, removing a speaker is a lot more harder to do than simply saying you're going to call the question. But it certainly is a significant rule change, given the narrow nature of the majority in the House for Republicans.
Now, Tom, Republicans have said that they plan to open several investigations of their own and give a new panel sweeping authority to investigate ongoing criminal investigation, including those into former President Trump. Why do this, and what do you think we can expect to see on that front?
Is that to me? I'm sorry.
To Tom.
Okay, yeah. So I think this is something, Republicans have campaigned on. It's something that the base expects, and that there is this balance. There's this accountability. There is this oversight. So I expect you're going to see a lot of investigations moving forward, which is what the legislative branch has an authority and a right to do. I hope that though it's balanced, that the Republicans and the Democrats on the committees are both questioning, like-minded, and and are working together to have an accountable government.
Now, Joe, the other big concern from these rule changes is that the concessions that McCarthy made could make it difficult for him to muster the votes to raise the debt limit or even put that to a vote. The White House is warning Republicans not to hold the debt ceiling hostage. So what happens if they do, and what's the solution?
Well, it would be a very serious mistake, I think, on the part of Republican majority in the House to do that, to hold that hostage. This is about debt that we already owe. This is not about new debt. So holding up our obligations can only hurt the United States in terms of how we're perceived throughout the rest of the world, that we don't pay our debts. That's not the America that I know or want to know. And so I think what it could potentially have happen is, if they're not able to muster the enough votes on the Republican side, there is what's known as a motion to discharge, where Democrats can all sign on to that motion and have a number of Republicans join them. But that's a ways away.
All right, former Congressman Tom Graves, Joe Crowley, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.